What is up, guys? Mega Mad here for another pickups video for January 2016. I didn't get a lot of stuff this month. This is kind of the slow month for game collecting. The slow start of the year. The beginning of the year is always slow for some reason, after the holidays and everything. But I did get some decent stuff, so I'll just jump right into it. First game is from my buddy Jason. As you may know him, TJ Kitsune on YouTube. He was getting rid of some of his games, and every time I go over there I always see this game and I always ask him if he wants to, give it to me or get rid of it. But he finally was parting with some games because he needed some extra money, so I think I got this for $10, which is a good deal. But that I never see this in the open a lot in the wild, but that is for the Nintendo GameCube, Bloody Roar Primal Fury. And this is just a fighting game. If you know the Bloody Roar series, basically you can turn into like an animal. And that's kind of like your, so to speak, primal fury power, I guess. But it's a fighting game. I've always enjoyed it, so glad to pick this one up. Next, I got another amiibo. I know it's, hopefully there's only one more after this, but every time I say that I always find more, and I'm just getting not frustrated, but well, kind of frustrated, but it's like they keep putting out more, and but this one was a must-have because this is my favorite new game of like last year, 2015, and this year I'd play the crap out of it. And it's like an 8-bit style game, but newer. But if you guys don't know what it is, it's Shovel Knight. And they made a Shovel Knight amiibo, of course. So now I have that to add. Moving on to other pickups here. This game I wasn't sure about getting because I don't have an original Xbox. But I ended up snagging it because this is compatible with the Xbox 360, and this game is going up in value lately. It's not as rare as the N64 version, which I do have as well, but I'm looking for it. Complete in box would be nice. But this is the sequel to Conquer. This is Conquer Live and Reloaded. So, like I said, I don't have an Xbox, but it's compatible with the 360, so I'm happy to try that out. And then this game, which I never played any of this series, but it's kind of like a hack and slash game. And it was really cheap, so that's why I picked it up. But I think this goes for $35–40, so I got it for like $6–7, so I can't complain. But that is Drakengard 2, the second one of the series, and it's just basically like I said, hack and slash, and kind of like I don't even know what to compare it to. Kind of like Dynasty Warriors, I guess. I don't know. If you guys know more about this game, let me know. And then Jason had a copy of this sealed. I was eyeing it, but he was asking too much for it, so I found another one at a game store I go to, and I was hesitant about picking it up because it's pricey. It's not real pricey. It's like 30. I think I paid like $30 for it, so which isn't terrible, but this is the more harder to find version for the Wii. And that's Metroid Prime Trilogy. And the reason this one is like harder to find, it's actually a steelbook case, and it comes with like a extra like lithograph poster or like a pamphlet, and then the manual and the game as well. But it's hard to find the steelbook version. You could find the regular plastic case version all the time, but just thought this was cool to have. I wasn't really big into Metroid Prime, but I thought I'd give it another shot. So, alright, and then the last thing, which is another crazy story. So, coworker of mine asked me, he said he had a Sega Saturn and some games, and he asked me if I wanted it. And of course, why would I turn that down? I said, sure, why not? So he brought it to work one day, and he brought two like big bags full, and they were just full of the system. And then he had a big stack of games, and surprisingly, all these games, none of these games are sports games that he had. So, which is freaking crazy. But anyway, what I got, the only unfortunate thing about this Saturn is here's the Sega Saturn system and everything. It's a Model 1. It didn't come with any hookups or anything. However, yesterday I ended up going to Madison and I picked up some hookups for it. So I'm not going to show those. They're just standard hookups and everything. But came with the fighting stick, arcade fighting stick, where everything works. I tested everything. Me and Jason tested everything. And just crazy. And now to the games. This is what blew my mind. This was all free. And yeah, I got another free lot. Can you believe that? I mean, I got that lot from my cousin, but now this was free. I offered my coworker, $50 when I saw him last, and he wouldn't take it. He just wanted it out of his house. So we'll start with the least, like, the worst, I wouldn't say worst game, just the downfall of this game. This one's X-Men, Children of the Atom, and what's unfortunate about this is there's no manual and no front case. It's just disc only. However, there is back art to it and everything. This is another fighting game. This is probably the most disappointing game out of the whole lot. So, just crazy. So moving on. We have Battle Monsters, which is another fighting game where you fight as all these different kinds of monsters. That girl kind of looks like Medusa on the cover there. Let's see, where am I going to put these? We have Tomb Raider, complete and everything. All these other games are all complete. So Tomb Raider is just like Tomb Raider, like you know Tomb Raider. Virtual Fighter 2. With the silver shiny case art. And we have Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3, which I love Mortal Kombat games. Can't have enough of them. I don't know where I'm going to put these so they don't fall. This one's an interesting one. It's called Loaded. And basically, it's like a top-down, kind of like a shooter. But there's just like, we played this and there's just like so much going on the screen. You just have no idea. You just keep shooting and all these enemies appear and everything's blowing up and everything. It's just it's a crazy like top-down shooter game, but it's a lot of fun. Another fighting game, Fighting Vipers, which is kind of like Virtual Fighter in a way. Very similar, just different characters and different levels and everything. Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, another fighting game. Darkstalkers is a classic fighting game, like kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom, kind of like the, I don't want to say cartoonish, but similar graphics to that. Okay, this game this was the first game I pulled out of this bundle when I got it home, and I about had not a heart attack, but I was thinking that this game was in here, that the possibility of another game, which is like the holy grail of the Saturn, which is Panzer Dragoon 2. And the holy grail, of the Saturn is Panzer Dragoon Saga. And I was thinking to myself, if this lot has Panzer Dragoon Saga in it, I'm just gonna just be blown away. But it doesn't. But it's got Panzer Dragoon 2, which is another fun kind of like shooter game. Okay, then we have, this is like a chibi version of Virtual Fighter called Virtual Fighter Kids. Like a fighting chibi game that's like they have bigger heads and everything. This one actually is more. This game isn't as pricey, but it's more desirable because this is the long box version. The other version came with a 3D control pad, but this is Nights into Dreams for the Sega Saturn. And on the inside here, you can see the manual. The other version came with the control pad, but it only came in a jewel case. You didn't get the long box version with the control pad. But this game actually needs that control pad because it's really hard to control and everything with just the regular Sega Genesis. Oh, I did get a controller too. It's over there, but I don't know what I did with it. Somewhere. But it's over there. Alright, now these next three are kind of like the cream of the crop, if you want to call it, as Curtis from Girlfriend Versus says. So, but this one is basically like a strategy RPG. I didn't get into this. I'm not big into RPGs myself, but this is called Mysteria: The Realms of Lore. So like I said, I know nothing about this game. We played it for like 5 minutes and didn't really get into it. So, and then this last couple ones here. This is another RPG, kind of like an action RPG. Another one I'm really not into, but it's worth some money. So, but this is The Legend of Oasis for the Sega Saturn. So it's kind of, yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's just kind of like a action RPG sort of type. And then the last game, which I didn't think this was actually worth any money because, well, I don't really know much about Sega Saturn, but this is actually a well-desired title apparently, and this I could compare to Doom. It plays just like Doom, except it's just called something different, and it's got like the same layout, it's first person, but that is Power Slave for the Sega Saturn. This is actually like a $70 game, which I had no clue, but it's just like Doom. If you ever play Doom at all, you know, that's very similar. Same with that. And that's it. So yeah, all those games, plus the system, plus the fight stick, plus the controller, was all free. I'm blown away. Like I said, I offered him money, but he wouldn't take it. He just wanted it out of his house. And it's just crazy that I got another free lot of stuff. So, but that's all the pickups I have this month. So yeah, hopefully next month it might be a little, you know, less, unless I get another free lot. Yeah, right, anyway. But then the next couple months we got the Midwest Gaming Classic coming up, so that'll be good. Hopefully I'll get some footage for that. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care.